I'm about to ruin all of Yang's efforts for everybody watching, but someone once told me in one of the early seasons of RWBY that Yang's efforts sound like Phil and Lil from Rugrats. So,
Oh my gosh!
You're welcome.
Exactly what you're talking about.
It's true.
First, representing Team RWBY, she is the voice of Ruby Rose herself. Please welcome back our friend Lindsay Jones.
Hello. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Hey, as always, how have you been?
Oh, it was a sweet morning. You know, pretty good news. Felt a little like Christmas, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's fine. Everything else, and all right. So you're rocking.
I'm talking about Volume 8, of course.
Of course,
it's here. We're excited. Go watch it. But no, stay here, then watch it, please.
So yeah, it's a crazy day. So you're so now you're red going into a pink.
Yeah. I think next time you see me, I might have like rainbow hair. I don't know. Who knows anymore? Quarantine's crazy.
It absolutely is. Lindsay, always a pleasure to thank you for joining us here again today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And next, representing Team Juniper today as the voice of Jaune, please welcome back Miles Luna.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Not much, young man. How are you holding up?
Whew, I am tired, but it's like a good tired for what feels like the first time all year.
Yeah. Again, we all got some. Yeah, well, there's some interesting news today, and of course, you've got some interesting news of your own to talk about, and we'll get into that. So, I guess, how are you doing? I know, being on the more on the creative side, you've had increased workload throughout all this.
It's been really cool. The writing for RWBY Volume 8 has been done for a really long time, which feels great to say. And so now getting to watch the episode that the team worked so diligently on is just like a wonderful, just a nice little treat and cool way to start the day.
Absolutely. Well, glad to have you back, sir. And again, we are looking forward to talking about what we're allowed to talk about in a few minutes. But let's list the gang out. Next, representing Team RWBY as the voice of Weiss, please welcome back our friend Kara Eberle.
Hello. How are y'all doing?
Good. You are rocking the apparel. Please give us a tutorial tour.
The new RWBY jacket by RWBY Battlestar, and also the new T-shirt from the Itsuku line. So yes, but it's super comfy, and why not? It's RWBY Day, so of course I'm actually very excited and very hyper. I agree with Lindsay on everything too, for all the good reasons. And I'm sorry you're tired, Miles, but I'll try to, transfer some of my energy over there.
I feel it.
There you go. Spirit bomb us. Let's go.
Oh, he's fine. And next, representing Team Juniper as the voice of Nora Valkyrie, please welcome back Samantha Ireland.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi,
How are you?
Oh, I'm really good. Today's been a fantastic day. I've only cried 17 times.
Wow, and, the first episode is the new season is that good.
Yeah.
Actually, guys, I have not watched. I'm a mom. I only have so much time in the day to actually watch it. I have to watch it when they're asleep. So I'll check it out tonight on there's a new app apparently, and I can watch it on my TV. So I'm excited for that.
I love how different of mothers we are too. You're like, my kid's got to sleep, and then I'll watch it. I was like, kids, get in here. The episode's on. It's here. It's here.
My kids think my stuff's silly though. It's not Scooby-Doo, guys. Come on. So.
And next, representing Team RWBY, she is the voice of Blake Belladonna. Please welcome back Arryn Zech.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, everyone. How are y'all?
Good. And for the record, she's wearing a blue top, not black.
It's blue. It's a blue dress, but it looks black.
Make it pink.
I mean, everything on me looks black anyway. I could wear a white shirt and it'd be black on me.
Arryn, how have you been holding up?
Really well. I mean, today's a great day. Good news all around. The RWBY is out and everyone's great. Everything's great.
That's good. Well, hey, we've this year's been crazy for everybody, and yeah, it's like, wow, have we really turned a corner?
Yeah. We shall see.
Indeed. And next, representing Team Juniper, she is the voice of Pyrrha Nikos. Please welcome Jen Brown.
Yeah.
Look at that wall.
Greetings.
Fancy.
Hello again.
Hey, Jen, how are you?
I'm good. I'm sure everybody else also agrees, as I was already hearing everyone say, obviously it's a good day for many reasons. I had a lower back pain for like months that magically went away a few hours ago when I
Hallelujah.
got an update on my phone. I was like, huzzah! Yeah. No. Feeling so good today. In fact,
That's adorable.
Oh,
my goodness.
Wow.
Pyrrha's riding.
Dude, blow her up.
You're like one of 10 people that owns that plushie.
I know.
Love it.
I love that though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I wore all of the RWBY colors today. Although anyone that knows me knows I basically live in primary colors anyway. Regardless, it's just coincidence that they happen to be RWBY colors. But
Very true.
yeah. And my Pyrrha earring that I forgot who, but a fan made me and
I
gave
love
to
it.
me
Oh,
a
those
few
are
years
so
ago.
Aw. Oh, wow. Those are
Some
so your
earrings.
vibe, though.
I mean,
Right,
my
I
goodness.
know,
Love.
right? I know. I lost one of them because the back fell off.
Well,
So
that's
now I just
great.
wear one.
Yeah.
But-
It's like an
Little star.
asymmetrical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
You
works.
dig it.
It works with my hair now. Now I
It
can,
really
I can
does.
rock it.
And Jen, welcome back. Always a pleasure to see you. And as usual, you, out of all the guests we've had here at GalaxyCon Live, you always have the most interesting background.
It's my house.
I know. That's what makes it
You're-
so interesting.
Your house is what my downstairs looks like, so don't worry.
Well, like,
Jen's
if
house
I'm
is
not-
amazing.
Well, it's my house. It's also the set for my television show.
That's fair.
I've been watching on
and, you know,
Instagram too.
you know.
I've been loving Halloween with you because I didn't do anything this year. I've had no energy or heart to do it. And I'm like, Jen's just going to like fuel Halloween into my veins. Thank you. Thank you.
I had to. Everyone would like, my friends were calling me being like, or not friends, but like some people would be like, oh, so I guess, Halloween's canceled this year. What are you going to do? And I'm like, Halloween's not canceled.
Yeah, have you
It
met
doesn't
you?
have to be canceled. Do you know who you're talking to? It is never canceled.
You
It
can't.
is.
Yeah.
You can still celebrate it, even though there's still.
It's
ways
not
to
even
do it
Halloween
safely.
for
You
you.
can't.
Right.
It's always Halloween is 24/7 for me. 365.
You can't cancel a magical dream.
No, you cannot.
And completing Team RWBY, she is the voice of Yang Xiao Long. Please welcome back Barbara Dunkelman.
My face.
Hey.
Happy Saturday!
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've had a 4-year-long migraine, and the ibuprofen just kicked in today. It's great.
Crazy.
Oh, it feels
that's
so
amazing.
good.
It was amazing. I picked up my nail polish, and now I'm just like, oh, that's weird.
Barbara, besides that 4-year headache, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Feeling good. Feeling happy about everything going on. RWBY coming out. It's RWBY season, which makes me
Yes.
so happy. It feels like it's been a really long time, so I'm really glad it's back.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. And finally, completing Team Juniper, he is the voice of Lee Rem. Please welcome Neath.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey.
Fans. Hey, great to finally meet everyone.
Good. How are you doing in your part of the world?
Good, but at the same time sleepy. Still a little bit groggy.
I must say, what time is it? What time is it where you are?
It's a little bit past 8 a.m. So,
Okay.
Okay. I mean,
That's
Oh,
fine.
rise and shine.
yeah.
Yeah. Good
I
morning.
also had,
Yes,
a,
yeah, good morning indeed.
also had a 9-month-old who is kind of grumpy. last night.
Oh my
So,
goodness. We're sending you parental energy.
yes, thank
There you go.
thank you.
Indeed.
Of course.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here at the GalaxyCon virtual stage. Of course, we miss the days and we look forward to the time when the world gets a little bit back to normal and we can get you back on the GalaxyCon stages and in front of your fans. In the meantime, we have this electronic forum and we are so glad to have all of you here. This is the biggest amount of guests and the biggest panel we have done since GalaxyCon
It's a
Live
Brady
started.
Bunch.
So glad to have you all.
It's
Awesome. You're
It's also the first panel that we've all been on at the same time before.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
yeah.
Sam,
I guess
wait
for the audience too, a lot of people don't know. I mean, one, we talked
Other
about
way,
not
other way,
recording
girlfriend.
together, but a lot of us like just got to talk to Neath for the first time in like a video capacity. So that was awesome. Yeah. Revolutionizing.
Yeah.
So obviously, like I said, the new volume just dropped. What can you tell us that we can look forward to without getting into spoiler territories and getting anybody in trouble?
A lot.
I'm gonna leave that to Miles.
What's up?
That one.
Volume 8 of RWBY is a portion of the story that we've thought about for a very long time and have been like just like bracing ourselves for. It's a big volume, and there is so much action. There's so much heart. A lot of fun, sort of atypical character interactions, traditionally speaking. For those who watched the first episode today, y'all will know that. And a lot of really eager fans have been able to sort of glean a few things from analyzing trailers and whatnot, which is always, it's always a double-sided coin. Because on one hand, you're like, man, our fans really care a lot. And on the other side, you're like, man, they figure out everything. So to all you tenacious fans out there, thank you. And calm down.
Patience.
It's a big volume.
Patience. So
yeah, we should all be masters of patience at this point. So have patience.
We should know that.
Yeah,
True.
We've heard that a couple times over the past few days.
Well, actually, this is kind of nice because one thing about franchises and fandoms is that sometimes those in charge really don't have the answers, and when they go to a point and they kind of wing it. I won't name shows, Lost for one, but the whole thing is it seems like you creatively you have a plan. You have a plan for all this.
Wait, you mean they didn't plan on the end of Lost? I wasn't thoroughly thought out.
No, I mean, with RWBY, it's always kind of been riding this line because we thought it would be good to have an idea of where we wanted the show to go when we started out. But we also knew that we had to stay flexible. That was something Monty was always big about, was like, stay flexible, stay adaptive, just be cool, be like water, you know? And so there's definitely been times where, you know, something that we wanted to do didn't work out. For example, Volume 6, the Cordova, the concept of the old lady in the shoe, and the shoe is actually just the foot of a giant robot. That was an idea that at first Monty was like, Volume 2! And we were like, yeah! And then we sat down and we were like, we can't do that in Volume 2! And so, you know, things get moved around, and you learn from it, and you realize, you know, maybe this will be better there, or maybe now we can push this a little bit this way now that we're, you know, older and wiser and slightly better at telling a story. So yeah, it's kind of a nice line. There's a general roadmap that we've always had, and you know, sometimes we take the scenic route, but we get where we're going eventually. And
for those who don't know, how many episodes do we have to look forward to for this volume?
Volume 8 is 13, 14? I don't remember. We just finished writing Volume 9 not too long ago, and so like it's all blurred together.
At least it doesn't.
Yeah, at least it doesn't. Yeah, that's for sure. I'm gonna look it up right now while you ask more lovely questions.
Well, the nice is that we have several weeks of Volume 8 to look forward to, and Volume 9 is confirmed, and that's all we're going to talk about that. So we have something to look forward to. Again, something else we can look forward to in 2021, among other things, if you've been following the news. Let me ask this much for everybody: just what's been the most enjoyable thing about being a part of all this?
Oh, that's a big question.
I know. The one thing?
Well, anything. Not necessarily just something that comes to mind that you just really has become just a favorite part of being involved in all this.
I'm going to interject really quickly, if that's okay. That I think that for me, when you're an actor, first off, when you're not a famous actor, you just want to do any opportunity that comes your way. But I think it's incredibly special to be a part of a project that has very passionate fandom. That's something all on its own that not every actor gets to be a part of. And it's just this whole other part of life. So that's been kind of it for me personally.
Yeah, I will piggyback off of that because I
was just going to say I'm going to piggyback off that. That's hilarious.
Like piggyback right on that. 100%. Agreed. And I will add a little bit more specific. I think now that it's been going on for so long, my current favorite thing is seeing the new iterations of fan art. Because like the absolute brilliance and talent of our fan base is just insane. Everyone is so good. The stuff, I mean, as I would say, I got these amazing earrings, and I mean, just my house, the other room is like all my cubbies are filled with different things that fans have made for me and given to me. And like, it's just, it means, as like a nerd, which I know most of us here are, as a nerd and an actor and someone who like freaks out over things, clearly a nerdy stuff person, getting and like nerdy cool things of a character that you voice is just like the coolest thing ever.
I know. I'll piggyback off of Jen and Sam, and all of that. I just think broadly that I'd say not only the community, but also, I mean, I've known you guys, you know, for I think at least like 10 years back from when I was receptionist at Rooster Teeth, and I've known the company for so long. So it's all like a family all encompassed, I guess, like you all say, if that makes any sense. And like, you know, Samantha said that's not something that a lot of voice actors get or had the opportunity to experience. So it's something really, really special. And I love you guys.
Not only just voice actors, but actors as a whole. Like I was just doing an interview with Carrie, and he said, we both talked about it, but he summed it up perfectly. He's like, this show for us and a lot of us represents like our 20s. I'm like, yeah, like I can't really say it any other way, but like, you know, good and bad, like life is so much of a big journey, and like RWBY encapsulates that. Art totally imitates life, and this is a perfect example.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna have to agree with everybody. I mean, the fans are what really makes this show possible and what makes it so amazing for all of us to be a part of. Of course, like I love all these people here, and everyone who works on the show is so incredibly passionate and talented, but having the fan base be so invested and just in love with what the show is and what it represents, and being able to see themselves in these characters and these storylines is so special. And I know like it's made my entire life getting to be part of the show and to be part of this community. So it's hard to pick one favorite thing, but I think encompassing it's the people.
Yeah, we wouldn't really be here if it wasn't for the fan reaction and the fan response. And it's this show has absolutely changed my life. It's been like the constant positivity in my life. Like in dark days, this was a thing that like brought me back to reality, being like, you're a part of this fantastic show that people love, and you get to tell this really great story and be this character that people really identify and like look up to. And it's just such a privilege to be a part of something so cool, you know?
Yeah. Neath, how about you?
This is being part of the show is a little bit more personal for me.
Of course.
Because, well, it's carrying on what a family member of mine started.
I know.
So I'm very grateful that all of you, there's so many people who love it, and that there's so many people who put passion into it and continue making it. And it's how he's remembered. So thank you for that.
It's too early to cry.
I know.
Neath already brought me there before this panel.
Sorry about that. It's just, but yeah, that is my favorite.
Never be sorry to make people cry.
And I
We
mean, I
love
guess
you.
it's part of it
Thank
now,
you.
so.
It is. Miles, bring us home on this one.
14 chapters. It's 14 chapters long, everybody. I'm glad to finally have the breaking news here. 14 chapters to the RWBY Volume 8. And without a doubt, you know, I think as many people have already articulated here, it is extraordinarily difficult to pick just one thing that is really a standout memory about being a part of this project. But I think it just goes back to this. There's just this memory in my moment of like, here's some nerdy friends that were like, wouldn't it be cool if this happened? And then those people convinced some other people to go, yeah, it would be cool to do that. And then they convinced some other people to give them some money. And then they actually made the thing. And then they convinced some cool voice actors to come on and make the characters even cooler. And it was just this ripple effect of wouldn't that be neat and fun? Then resonated with thousands of people online that went, this is neat and fun. And we all came together and went, wow, cool.
Yeah.
Like
As the
it
creators
sounds
referring to
very
each other
dumb
going,
and
"Oh my God,
childish,
it's
but there's
happening,
something
it's
about the
happening."
purity of a bunch of people going, "That's pretty neat." That is just like very wholesome and
Oh.
means a lot to me.
I'll never forget just sitting in an IHOP with you three, like going through names and colors and like different variations on how we can like fit like a color into a name.
It
Like
was
I literally
so-
remember like sitting across from Monty, just like being like, "What about this? Because this is like kind of like this from this fairy tale," and it was
and just
that
dumb moments.
memory is stuck.
Yeah, our mouth full going, Neptune should be afraid of water. Like, stuff like that.
I can totally see that.
I love Neptune. Neptune's one of my favorites.
Pass the blueberry syrup. Thank you.
It's like you were there.
Now I want to go to IHOP. Oh my gosh.
Right? Who wants pancakes?
Indeed. Well, I don't know about pancakes, but we do have audience questions that we can switch over to. So, Jude, once again, roll our first one. And this comes from Spencer, who would like to know, what is one characteristic you share with your character?
Social
Water bottle,
awkwardness.
Yeah, I'll have to jump into that one too.
Perfectionism.
Quiet one.
That's a good one.
I like reading.
Guys,
You
I
have a
don't know.
copy of Ninjas and Love It All?
Me and Yang are nothing alike. I don't know.
Oh,
No,
no.
I don't see the
Not even a
resemblance
little.
at all.
Yeah.
You're
No, you don't
stuck.
sound anything like her.
When I found out you were cast, I was like,
What?
"What?"
That's Barbara?
Oh god.
Should we go in like some particular order so we could like?
Let's
Oh
go.
wow!
Let's go
Yeah, that's right.
top
There's
to bottom.
Well,
Jen.
what I'll do is whoever popcorn starts it off, I'll go around from there, and I have a little sheet where I mark off who's answered who.
Ooh, behind the scenes.
Right. Well, I had to do a new one because I didn't have one for 8 guests. So. All right. So, Jen, did we hear from you?
Oh, me? No. Sorry.
solid.
I would say we both Pyrrha and I both fiercely believe in doing what is right, and like fiercely believe in kindness. I would say that like those are the things like we really share in common is definitely the desire to and the need to feel like everyone's being treated equally and that there's kindness is spread for sure.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. So, Lindsay.
I jokingly, but did honestly say social awkwardness. And while that's true, I feel like recently a bigger part of RWBY now is like her optimism, but I do resonate a lot with trying to find the good in people, and that can be good and bad. Definitely a double-edged sword there. Can lead to trusting people you shouldn't trust. Again, relatable with RWBY, but at the same time, I think if you keep it positive and optimistic, you can find, again, good in a lot of places that you wouldn't think good existed, and that we need that. So,
I agree.
Oh.
Very good. Miles.
I feel like both Jaune and I really try a lot, and that doesn't always necessarily lead to a success. But it's something that I think is, I've got a whole, God, if anybody ever got to see my student film, I think I'd die of embarrassment. There's so many like things that I've like just like Charlie Brown whiffed it with all the best intentions. And I think that's I think I'm not alone in having those moments from time to time.
Sure.
Absolutely fair. Arryn.
Well, we both like books. We both like tea.
Yeah, we got that.
There's so much I want to say, but I shouldn't. So I'm just gonna go with books and tea.
Books and tea and books and tea
Books
and
and
books and
tea.
tea.
It's my favorite song.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and books and tea.
Oh, is that what that is?
Sure.
I didn't know what you were doing. I was just going with it.
That's how you yes and you crushed it.
Exactly. I'm an improv master.
There it is.
Samantha, how about you?
I think what Nora and I share is our fierce loyalty. I think that we both, when we love a friend, we love them hard.
Yes, you do. You beautiful soul.
Thank you. You're a beautiful soul too. But that's what I love about her. I don't share the same excitement and enthusiasm, but like when it comes to my friendships, I feel like her and I are definitely on the same page, and I love that.
Absolutely fair. Sounds good. And yeah, Kara, Barbara, we heard from you. So Spencer, thank you. Great question to start us off with. And Jude, roll us another one from Brittany. What has been your favorite scene or volume to record?
I got one.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Okay, so there's two. The first one is back, I want to say in volume 2 or 3, where Blake and Yang are in the classroom yelling at each other. That's one of my favorites because that was we're yelling. It's one of my favorites because that was the only time that I actually got to work with one of the actors on the show. Like Barbara came over to my apartment and we worked on it together because we wanted to make sure that this like really important scene for both of them was
so young
done
and
well.
so nervous.
Yeah, I know. It's just we were so anxious. It's like, okay, we don't want to mess this up. But I also really enjoyed doing. I say this joke a lot, but that scene where Blake is like, "We did this," when she very well did that by herself. She has this massive monologue, and I'd never been given Kara. I'd never been given such a big piece, I guess, and it was really fun to break it down and to work on it and to work with it and mold it. And it was just as an artist. It was something just really fun to work on and to give to the world. But those two, definitely.
Right on. Samantha, how about you?
Well, it's hard to pinpoint, to be quite honest, just because the thing I love volume 4 so much because we got to really start to crack open Ren and Nora, like how they met each other and Ren's story. I love that one, but I really, really love Nora's journey in volume sorry guys, I think it's 7. Yes, because now it's 8. Yes. So is 7, and what she stands up for and how she's just never done that before. And as an actor, I loved to get to work on that. So thank you, writers, for writing that for her. I dug into that, and I love them because there's a tenderness, and then there's the juxtaposition of it for volume 7, and I don't know. I love that as an actor, and I also love those journeys for Nora as the character as well. So those are mine.
Absolutely great. So, Jen, we have a new panelist joining us. Would you care to introduce us to your friend?
Yeah, I we do. Pyrrha, I'm sorry.
We do. This is my baby, and everyone will be very excited too because it's Juniper.
Oh, shut up.
It's Juniper, baby.
I didn't. Oh, she's shy, Jen. You won't look at the camera.
I know. I know. She's like, no, she wants to be. She just wants pets. She just wants rubs right now. She's got her big old head in my lap.
Yeah.
She's got her big old head in my lap. Just your sweet joggy. Juniper. We adopted her. Her name was already Juniper. I had always told my husband that the only way I'd ever have a dog was if it was it had to be a pit bull, because I have this weird thing about pit bulls. I love them. They're my favorite ever. And I was like, all right, if we're ever gonna get a dog, it has to be a pit or a pit mix. It has to be adopted. And this was right before the pandemic like really, really blew up. Yeah. He was scrolling through APA and found Juniper's picture and was like, look at this dog. And I went,
it's meant to be.
Oh my God. He's a black and white pitty. And her name is Juniper. Stop it. And we met her and we just bonded with her really fast. And she's brought so much love into our lives. We can't even imagine our lives without her. She's our baby. We love her so much.
Wait, her name was Juniper before you got her?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Meant to be.
No, that was exactly
so
the
serious.
reason.
Trying to follow.
That was one of the reasons we were like, we have to meet this dog. Its
Yeah.
name
That
is
is crazy.
freaking Juniper. Like, shush. And when I first started posting pictures, people were like, "Oh, isn't that cute? You named your dog that." I'm like, "No, I didn't."
I got it. That's awesome.
It was destiny.
Oh.
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 Her, actually, I wonder if I can. Where's her, babe? Do you have her collar? Her collar. When you grab her collar for me, it's right in the basket. Sorry, Barrett just had ACL meniscus surgery, so he's like rolling around the house. It's been a week. It's been a week.
Poor guy.
Do it.
But I'll show y'all one last thing, just because it's super cute. Because I have to. Because I mean, it's the RWBY panel, and it makes sense. So here's her collar, which now, of course, she's like, "Does this mean I'm going outside?" And she's like,
yeah.
oh,
Look at her
Dude, go ahead and blow her up.
This is her.
Aww.
Oh goodness.
That's so sweet.
Oh,
Oh no, the arrow. Oh no.
That is amazing.
Oh
And
my gosh.
beautifully.
I love that.
Tragic. I love it.
Isn't that so sweet? I found it on Etsy. It was like they just, an arrow on a dog tag, apparently. Very popular. And I was like, well, that's perfect. And it's bronze and copper. I mean, it's the color. It's
Oh.
and yes, I'm that person. I am absolutely that person.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Do you have an answer to the question on the table? Do you have a favorite to consider episode?
So that's hard for me. Can I be honest?
You can be as honest as you want.
So my favorite moment actually would be not from RWBY, recording wise, because most of my recording sessions, while very meaningful, usually ended in everyone crying, which is great. And I love that. I'm not saying that's bad. They mean a lot to me. But my favorite for the amount of fun I got to have is anytime I did Chibi, specifically when I got to do the commercial for Pumpkin Beats.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, great. We get to live in a world where Pyrrha's alive and weird and silly. And we get to because the part of her character that definitely is shown in the show, but obviously we didn't get a lot of time with it because,
Yeah.
But she's awkward. She's a weirdo. She is 100% a secret weirdo. And we got to explore that secret weirdoness in Chibi. And that made me so happy. I had so fun every time I was in the booth doing the Red Huntress or the commercial or, and any of them, all of them. They're all my favorite. Those were my favorite moments.
Nice.
Because I got to
Hell yeah.
really have fun with it, And I love doing dramatic stuff, obviously. I love it. I'm good at it, but it's just really fun to do this silly stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go the counterclockwise. Neath, how about you?
are we allowed to talk about Volume 8? We can't go into too much detail.
I would maybe not say what it is, but you could maybe talk about being excited about it. And my brain is just hastily scanning through everything that happens in Volume 8.
I know.
Part of me wants
now
Neath to
again.
power move and be like, I'm gonna say it anyway.
I think I'd say you could say you're excited about something at 8, but I would say try to stick to what is already aired.
I think it's a heck of a cool thing to look forward to. That now everybody's gonna be looking for your favorite scene.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to the writer's Slack and have Eddie, Kiersey, and Carrie go, "You told them they could what?"
All right. To try and not give anything away, let's just say there's one really. I tweeted out recently that there's going to be some scenes that were going to be very compelling emotionally.
Miles is happy with that answer.
Compelling. Everything's compelling. Anything can be compelling.
I don't remember what episode it was. I think it was 8 or 9.
Don't worry about it. It was a compelling episode.
But yes,
Like, stop there.
Neath, you have a compelling episode coming up, and we are looking forward to it. Barbara, what you got?
Gosh, it's so hard to pick one. There's the favorite scenes for different reasons, like different emotions that we get to portray, and different different things that challenge us as actors, which is always fun. I think one of my favorites is this scene in Volume 5 where Yang and Raven are having that confrontation in the vault. It was one of my favorite scenes to record, and getting to act alongside Anna Hullum was so much fun. But I will say there are some scenes upcoming in RWBY that are probably my new favorite. That you'll just have to wait and see. And they're very compelling.
So effing compelling.
They're very compelling.
Is this the word of the day? Compelling.
If you're compelled to say
the
it.
entire season is compelling. There we go.
Look at you.
A roller coaster of compelling emotions.
Kara, what was your most compelling scene?
The most compelling. Well, there's so many. No, I'd say, and I've said this before, but it's true, and I believe it's volume 4 or 5, but it's the fundraiser scene at the Schnee Manor, and it's basically when Weiss kind of, I'd say, loses her cool finally. Loses her cool.
So proud of her.
She turns around and just tells everyone to shut up. But she's shut up. And, everything that you're talking about doesn't mean anything. Your clothes and your jewelry and everything. And then after that, she really stands up to her dad right in the same scene. And Ironwood comes in, after that, and says that Weiss is the only one making any sense. So I thought that was really cool and really kind of like a pivotal part of Weiss, and it's like her character development by finally deciding, screw you, dad and family, and all of you materialistic people.
I was so proud of her when that happened. I fell in love with Weiss. I'm not going to lie to you.
No.
Plus, her hair is really cute, so.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like your ears.
Oh my god, thank you.
Miles, what you got?
I think it's funny. My answer is kind of the opposite of Jen's, because I often get cast in comedic roles. And so when Jaune mouths off at Cinder towards the end of Volume 5, that was so much fun, because Jaune very rarely, goes there. He's normally serious Jaune is mopey, I kind of hate myself Jaune, but that was just this poor teenager with all these emotions just all directed at you. And, it was not the best move from a strategic standpoint in that particular instance of combat, but boy howdy was it a lot of fun to do in the booth.
When you say things like boy howdy, that's why you get cast in comedic.
Oh, I know. I know.
I just laughed to myself because I said boy howdy 3 times this morning, and Michael made fun of me for it, and then you just said boy howdy, and I was like,
hey,
yeah,
man.
okay.
I'm a big fan of
I got my autumn sweater on. I got my dad glasses. I'm in my comfy chair. Gonna have myself a cup of soup after this. Boy howdy.
Jiminy Jillikers.
Jiminy Cricket. There was a gust outside.
Gee Willikers.
Lindsay, bring us home in this compelling corn pone conversation.
I have the worst last answer too. I'm in the same boat. I have a very compelling scene that I just recorded yesterday, and it's my favorite so far. And I guess I'll say that one person is talking down to another person. And that's that. Okay. There you go. That's all you get.
No, not wrong with that. Brittany, thank you very much. That was a great question. And a reminder to our audience, if you would like to chat with our guests like I am now, or purchase a personalized autograph, please sign up at GalaxyCon.com. And we have time for a few more. So what's next? Here's one from Luke. What is the most difficult emotion to convey when voice acting?
Honestly? Barbara, go ahead. Go ahead.
I feel like we're all going to agree on this, because I think we've talked about this together before, but crying and laughing are 2 of the hardest things to do as a voice actor in character. I feel like it's hard to convey those ends of the spectrum. Everything in between I feel like is fair game, but crying in character and laughing in character, being forced into that emotion is sometimes really hard to get into, at least for me.
If you ever want some fun practice with that, this isn't actually fun practice. This is just something you can do to annoy your
Fun
friends.
practice to cry.
Try to laugh, like earnestly laugh without smiling. It's very fun, and you immediately look like a crazy person. And we don't all have to do that right now. That would probably be a bad idea for this particular type of entertainment. But just like keep that in your back pocket. The next time you're alone, just stare in the mirror and try to laugh without smiling.
Look it up on YouTube. Steve Carell does it, I think, on like Conan O'Brien. But it's perfect. Yeah.
Wow. Incredible.
I recently had to send a friend of mine who needed some like placeholder for some show that they're doing, but I had to laugh for a minute straight. So I feel like I'm pretty decent at laughing things. And I mean, I've always been good at crying. I honestly found indifference to be more difficult, but maybe that's because when we first started with Blake, I mean, I'd only acted like on camera or on stage. So voice acting and on camera acting, you don't realize like how much you have to put into, like you don't realize how much of your emotions are actually put on your face and not in your voice. Like that's how you show people. So with Blake, with her like indifference, it just sounded awful. So I for me, maybe it's just because I voiced Blake, but the indifference was the more difficult thing to figure out.
I guess I'm cheating because it's not technically an emotion, but something that I think is very challenging to do in the booth is to be voicing one character who is impersonating another character.
Yeah.
That is like
that's so fun though.
Really, like sometimes it's fun and sometimes it's like, I swear to God, this is impossible. Like Jaune doing the Huntsman, which was me doing Chibi Jaune, doing Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight, was like a fun journey, and we got there after a hot second. But like that kind of stuff is always like, especially too, like that's an easy one. But like to have like one character doing another like primary character who's on screen often is like that's tough. That's tough.
The voice actor who does Oscar, his name is Arryn, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's so fantastic at being Ozpin while Oscar. I was the first time I heard him, I was astonished with his ability to like play the character of another person. Like it was, I was impressed.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
Is perfect for Ozpin. Right? So I love him.
Ridiculous.
He's so good.
So good.
He had such nice rings too.
He's also like one of the sweetest people I've ever met.
Yes,
he really is.
Super sweet.
He's an angel baby.
I think for me, it's a convincing being hurt, like actually being hurt and saying lines. I feel like that's difficult. I've had to do it a couple of times, and when I did it for Red versus Blue, I was such a novice at voice acting. I think it sounds horrible, but I feel like I've gotten a little bit better with time, but that's the one, like if I, doing efforts is great, but when you have to portray emotion on top of also of pain and you have to think about a specific pain too, I don't know. I find that really challenging personally.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's actually opposite of me per se.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I find efforts kind of pretty difficult when it's just, by itself, you're, have a line to, you're hurt. I'm always like, well, why? What is she feeling? Why is she so hurt? Like, what is the emotion behind this? And Miles is probably laughing because it's like true. And I'm like, oh, it's like that. So it's like, I really have to like get into it in order to make, the right, sound, I guess, if you want to call it, come out.
Yeah. You need to have that like context with it, for you.
Yeah.
For me, I don't care about the for the efforts. I just go wild, and that's like, something will stick.
Oh, it's awesome. You do great. Love
but that's so interesting that you think with like when you're doing the lines with it, that's easier. I think that's really cool that that's how you feel.
I think it's really cool. The opposite. It'd be a lot easier if I could do it. Anyway.
Neath, how about you?
That's kind of a difficult question for me to answer because Ren is most of the time so emotionless. Most of the time he's like this Zen meditating kind of guy who
very nice.
I think like, I I really like your performances, Ren, because I would not say that he's emotionless. The way that I always felt about Ren's emotion is like it's this very, very like subtle performance where you can get the emotion, but it's kind of like the emotions in the other room and you're only hearing it through the wall. Like you get this undercurrent of like Ren has this tranquil like surface level, but underneath you can kind of feel which way the current's pushing them in that particular scene.
Yeah. What a very calming presence.
But with the whole efforts thing, though, I find that to be the most easy part because it's just after taking karate, it's kind of like they teach you to, to release your inner strength when you're striking and everything like that. So it's kind of like when you're going out and since this is an action anime, so they teach you to, we're jumping around, shooting guns, swinging swords and everything like that. So, I just imagine myself in a like a practice match against some of my former dojo
for enemies.
Dude, I remember too, like the first time we like auditioned with you and like did some recording and stuff with you, we were like, okay, yeah, you did a great job. Now efforts are going to be like kind of weird. Not most people like them, and then you just like destroyed it. And we're like, okay, so efforts aren't going to be an issue with you. You're very good at them.
That's not fair. Efforts are the worst.
Legit.
I love efforts. They're so
Seriously.
cathartic.
I love efforts. It's like
Wait, hold on, wait. Show of hands. Who loves efforts? And who's anti? Okay.
Okay, who here has a sports background of some form?
I mean, I can do them, but do I?
Yeah, now it's getting better. I'm with you, Arryn.
I feel like efforts for me were like having to let go of discomfort of sounding funny in front of people. Yeah. Like allowing myself to not be worried about what other people think about me because I'm gonna sound weird. But here's the thing: the people recording you know you're gonna sound weird. They've been listening to everyone else sound weird already.
We really need you to sound weird.
Yeah, I just experienced the discomfort of like, this is gonna sound like I'm pooping.
It's funny you say that for efforts. Like maybe I just blazed past that with RWBY or like a lot of voice acting I do because I like voice acting because I don't have to worry about my body. I gesture a lot, especially with RWBY. She's like a mile a minute. So the second we started doing dialogue, I was like, hey, I'm a freak weirdo. Okay, let's go. And they're like, okay, wow.
I love that.
Works.
I'm about to ruin all of Yang's efforts for everybody watching. But someone once told me in one of the early seasons of RWBY that Yang's efforts sound like Phil and Lil from Rugrats. So
Oh my gosh!
You're welcome.
Exactly what you're talking about.
It's true. Yes.
Oh my
I
god!
would always think about that.
I was actually gonna
Oh my
start
God.
rewatching the Rugrats, so now I'm just
I
gonna
love
watch it.
You're gonna hear
Thank you. Oh, thank you,
Making it
Barbara. Every
weird.
day, all day. Thank you.
Jen, I haven't heard from you yet.
Yeah. I have zero issue with efforts. I have zero. I'm trying to think what's. Oh, I know. And it's only specific to Pyrrha, and it's only because I never thought I would have to do it, and I technically never had to do it on the show. But I was doing this little side thing where people could like ask Pyrrha to say like whatever they wanted, sort of deal. And someone wanted me to do the ending. Schwarzenegger's ending bit from Running Man. If anybody's familiar with that, it's very like aggro, angry, just it's hilarious. But when I went to go record it, it took me forever because I realized, Pyrrha doesn't get like actually like verbally angry. Like she's a very like, I mean, she gets angry and she gets upset, but not like that.
She's like, I'm gonna whip your ass. Like, whoa, what the hell?
Why didn't me this time? It was him.
Yeah, it took me forever to figure out how to get there without losing Pyrrha, because I could get there as me, because like that's fine, but like how to get there as Pyrrha, just because I never had to do it on the show, it just hadn't occurred to me, and it was such a great challenge. Like that was the toughest for her for sure, because I just hadn't even considered it.
I like that.
Absolutely fine. As a voice actor, I have my opinion on efforts, but as a moderator, it's my job to be in the middle. But Luke, thank you for that question. And GalaxyCon viewers, this has been my time with the cast of RWBY, but it absolutely does not have to be yours. If you'd like to chat with our guests or purchase a personalized autograph, please head over to GalaxyCon.com. And while you're there, be sure to check out our schedule of upcoming events like this one. Panelists, any final words for our audience before we go?
What's
yeah,
RWBY?
I want to say a thing real quick.
Go ahead.
If you didn't know, I have a television show. It's called Genre Graveyard. If you go to YouTube, we have a YouTube channel where you can watch exclusive clips from the show. The first 4 episodes are airing on El Rey currently, and you should watch it. This is the set. It's basically Elvira meets Pee-wee. It's like me. It's my brand. It's my
Kind
like.
of a really good description.
I love it.
That's
Right? That's
literally how we sold
that.
it. We're like, it's Elvira meets Pee-wee, and they were like, we'll buy it.
I would also like to say something before we go. Is just like thank you to everybody for continuing to support us after so many years of the show, especially nowadays with just the way the world is and with this global pandemic. Having people support means more than anything right now. So we really appreciate you guys. Also, this is my first time meeting Neath, so thank you guys for putting it on.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so super grateful for everything.
Branching off of that too with RWB, also just talking about like other productions that we're working on. RWB, huge hype behind it. The creators are working so hard. And it's the first time that we have creative leads like Fiona in roles. Hannah also as well. Please send them love.
Yeah.
But I mean, Miles can speak more to that as far as like connections with the animation. But I don't know if there are any other projects we can hype that we're working on. Achievement Hunter's doing great. We got a van. Have you watched? Listen to Face Cam. Listen to Face Cam.
A little bit of Eric, a little bit of
Hunter, we got a van. Someone mentioned earlier there's a new app. Who wants to tell us about that?
I shall.
Barbara.
We, as a former marketing person from Rooster Teeth, we now have television apps available from Rooster Teeth. You don't have to be a first member. They're completely free to use. We have Apple TV, Roku, Amazon TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, and then I think Xbox as well. And more to come, hopefully. But you could download those on your TVs and watch RWBY and our live streams and everything like that from the comfort of your own couch or bed or wherever you have your TV.
I did that this morning.
Yeah, me too.
That's how I watched RWBY.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my absolute pleasure to serve you all today once again here at the GalaxyCon virtual stage. Thank you as always for joining us. We look forward to the day when the world gets back to normal and we can get you back on our physical stages and back in front of your fans. In the meantime, it has always been a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to our audience for joining us today. Thank you for the great question. Hope to see you all again tomorrow, Sunday, November 8th.
Thank you guys.
All right.
Pleasure, everybody.
Bye-bye, everyone. Take care, and please keep washing those hands.